This is the training video for Advion Expression Compact Mass Spectrometer in Research Instrumentation Center. The Advion Expression Compact Mass Spectrometer is a single quadrupole mass spectrometer with atmospheric pressure ionization sources capable of analyzing polar and mildly polar compounds at relatively low concentrations. The Advion is equipped with an isocratic solvent pump, 3 sample introduction schemes, and 2 ionization sources, and is capable of scanning quickly over a broad mass range from 10 to 2000. Samples can be introduced by flow injection, using the Plate Express TLC plate reader, or using the atmospheric solids analysis probe for solid samples. After injection, gas phase ions are produced by either ESI or APCI, generally by protonation in positive ion mode or deprotonation in negative ion mode. Both ESI and APCI are capable of ionizing compounds that contain heteroatoms, but APCI can ionize molecules over a broader polarity range. ESI and APCI can generate gas phase ions from polar compounds. In general, compounds must contain heteroatoms to be ionized and thus be detected by the mass spectrometer. Sample concentration should be approximately 10 microgram per milliliter but may be increased 1 order of magnitude to improve signal-to-noise. Users should always dilute their samples to low microgram per milliliter concentration and analyze these more dilute solutions prior to trying more concentrated solutions. Concentrations in the milligram per milliliter range should never be injected. Samples should be dissolved in some combination of water, acetonitrile, and methanol. Preferably the latter two. Solvents such as THF, DMSO, and nonpolar solvents should not be used. Samples should not contain significant concentrations of buffers, salts, polymers, and inorganic acids and bases. The PC use a local account to log in. Please be sure to include the / for username. Click on CHMS Express. If you receive a message regarding connection error, unplug the USB connection on the lower panel of the instrument and then reconnect. Log into your account. If you are a new user, a new account will be set up for you. 3 options will appear. FIA, Flow Injection Analysis, uses the Riodine injector on the top left of instrument. ASAP, Solids probe for use with the APCI source. TLC, uses Plate Express, for analyzing TLC plates. Click FIA. Click the green button, top right, to switch off standby and turn the voltages and gas flows on. Turn on the blue pump on bench behind the computer. The pump improves sensitivity for high molecular weight species. Turn on the isocratic solvent pump by pushing the play/pause button. At this point the pressure reading displayed at the bottom of the instrument software should increase to the 700 to 900 psi pressure range. The pump flow rate can be set either on the pump itself by using the up and down arrow keys, or in the software under peripheral control. If the pressure exceeds 2500 psi, turn off the pump and ask for assistance. If the pressure does not increase to the expected range, pause the pump. Open the black purge valve by turning it counterclockwise and suck any air bubbles out by using the plastic syringe. Then close the purge valve and turn on the pump. Click on the Experiment tab. In the Acquired Data section at the bottom, Sample Group is a folder generated automatically with today's date. Sample ID is the file name for the data set. Place additional notes in the summary, not required. In the Acquisition Setup section, select compound type, i.e. instrument tune settings, harsh or soft, hot or cold. Typical is a good starting point, but you can try other settings if you want. Select ion polarity, positive, negative, or positive/negative switching, by consider whether your molecule more easily protonates or deprotonates. Input your start and end mass to charge ratio to include your expected mass peak. Range is 10 to 2000. Input run time, which is the amount of time you want to collect data. Click on the play/run icon, top of screen, to begin acquiring data for the amount of time you specified in the Experiment tab. While the instrument is scanning and collecting data, you need to load and inject your sample. Wash your syringe 3x with provided solution, which is 95% acetonitrile, 5% water, with 0.1% formic acid. Load your sample into the syringe. With the injection port on load direction, facing 4-5 o'clock, put the syringe needle into the port and load the sample into the loop by push the plunger. Pull out the syringe. Notify RIC staff if there is any leakage. Inject the sample by switching the valve to the inject position, pointing at 7-8 o'clock. Wait a few seconds for the entire sample plug to be pushed through the sample loop and to the ion source. Wash your syringe 3x with solvent. You can make multiple injections per data file. Simply repeat the load and inject procedure. You may want to rinse the sample loop 3 times between each sample. Running solvent blanks is recommended and can help identify background peaks. The total ion count, TIC, and real-time mass spectra can be viewed in the Real-Time TIC and Spectrum tab. Click on the stop icon when you are done collecting your data files. Click on Data Express on the lower right corner in the CHAMS Express software or on the desktop. Open your data file with Open File. If both positive and negative data were obtained for your sample, there will be 2 separate data files for each experiment. Click and drag on the chromatogram, below the x-axis, to see the average mass spectrum over that time period. Various aspects of the mass spectrum can be manipulated using the small icons in the top right of the mass spectrum. The mass spectrum can also be exported by clicking the E icon, selecting Data to and Clipboard. Open Excel and paste the data from the clipboard, save the Excel file, and take the data file with you on an external drive or email it to yourself. You can also export the data as a .csv file or as a graphic, such as a JPEG. Background subtraction can also be accomplished if desired using the Background and Background Options buttons. When you are finished, run solvent through the solvent lines for 3 minutes, once with the injection valve in the load position and once with the injection valve in the inject position. This ensures that none of your sample is carried over into the data that the next user collects and also helps prevent the solvent lines from becoming clogged. Click the red standby button in the instrument control software to turn off the mass spectrometer voltages and gas flows. This will also turn off the isocratic pump. Turn off the blue pump on the bench behind the computer. Close the software and log out. End your kiosk session in iLab. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please contact me.